Look at the color difference.
I hate to do this to you, but you can't pour for yourself first.
I can't pour myself first? Watch.
So when we cheers, we have
look
to
in your eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Yep.
And I always pour for the other person first because I heard that was bad luck. I don't know where I learned it.
Oh my God. So welcome to this episode of Bourbon Proof, where we talk about those that made it at life and law. We do have a series of conversation with, more importantly, these bottles of whiskey and bourbon that we have here today. And I'm very excited to learn about your bourbon of proof, Michelle Iarusso. So, fantastic trial lawyer, done a lot of shit. But most importantly, you were a bartender in New York.
I was a bartender for 10 years.
Okay, so this is the first episode where I'm going to let you lead with the pour.
Okay.
Because I want to hear what you have first, because I've not had any of these whiskeys. Yes, I've not had any of them. So go for it. You go first.
All right. So
Show me yours.
We're going to start with the Workhorse Rye Redhorse. I was introduced to this distiller by a friend of mine who has a distillery in downtown who does vodka.
Downtown LA, yeah?
Yeah, downtown LA, who does vodka and gin.
That's fine.
So Workhorse, this distiller,
Ooh,
Rob.
This smells crazy.
It's fantastic. So he grows his own grain. It's like super, super organic. The way they fertilize it, they use compost and like
Holy shit.
dead predator bug bodies.
Well, no pun intended, but holy shit.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then they age it in red wine casks.
Oh, it's like a little sweet on it. Let's see. Oh my God.
That's really good. I've never tried it before.
That's really good and like super different.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
This is delicious.
This is the first time you've had this?
It's the first time I had it, yeah.
Oh my God. So tell me, like, what is the most often pour that you'd give for a brown liquor when you were bartending days?
Johnny Walker Black, I think. Yeah. Black on ice.
So we'll never be sponsored by Johnny Walker for the show for one reason, because it's dog shit.
You know, I would agree with that.
Yeah, see?
I look back on all the things I used to drink when I was in my 20s and bartending, and I'm like, how did I survive?
Oh my God. So what did you drink in your 20s?
So when I was a bartender at my first bartending job, it was Powers.
What is
Powers Irish whiskey.
I didn't know that one.
Yeah, it's a low level. But I could do...
Is it a plastic bottle?
No, not that low level.
That's fine.
We didn't have it in a handle either. No, we poured it. 6 shots I could do and still count out my bar at the end of the night.
Really? So when you were bartending, so I always have this like weird philosophy about trial lawyers. If you were in some sort of service industry, where you talk to a lot of people, you got to drink for the show, by the way. You better fucking keep drinking. When I talk, you drink.
Okay.
If you're in a service industry where you talk to a lot of other people that are from different aspects of life, you're a great trial lawyer. It's weird, but I have that thought.
I wouldn't disagree with that.
Really? So, like, walk me through those days in New York. So you're much more higher educated than I am.
No, we have the same amount of education.
Well, same amount, but not the quality.
I mean, I went to film school as an undergrad. It was like a trade school.
You went through film school, then you ended up at UCLA Law. Like, how's that happen?
You know, film school was something I always wanted to do.
You do like claymation? You big Gumby fan?
No.
Oh, come on.
No, I did the like in your face. I was always the
Really?
kid walking around at the family parties with like, you know, back then they had the big camcorders. And actually those are some of the best family memories now that
Really?
you know I took. So how did I get to film school? I just wanted to go to New York. I was like, fuck it, get me out of California.
But you grew up in NorCal.
I did. I grew up in the Bay Area, which was fantastic. Went camping. I always had a flashlight, a sleeping bag, and a jug of water in the car. Oh yeah,
What?
and the Thomas Guide, because we would just drive up and down the coast, find hot springs.
What is a Thomas Guide?
What? Oh come on.
I know Thomas the Train. Is that his name?
You're the same age as I am. You gotta remember the Thomas Guide. Come on.
I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah, that was the shit.
But then what was your journey like? Fuck it, I'll go to film school in New York.
Yeah, I just you know, I wanted to go to film school, so it was either NYU or USC. And they both had these
Which had less snobs.
Well, that's exactly it. So I went
punchline. Sorry, gotcha.
I went to a one of those meet and greets, and I went to the USC one, and I was just like, what the hell? I mean, I went to a Catholic school, but I had like purple hair. I was a weird kid.
But how's that the uniform? They don't let you do that at Catholic school.
They do if you're one of the top kids in the class.
Really?
Yeah. So I got away with it. So I went to the USC one, and I was just like, oh God, no. And the people at the NYU one were funky. They had, leather jackets and green hair, and I was like, I'm going to NYU because I can fit in here.
So you fucking go to New York, and it is, how old were you, 18, 19 when this happened?
I was 18 years old.
So did you get to New York and was like, fuck this, I'm going back to California?
No, God, no, I stayed for 10 years. Yeah.
Wow, because you went to law school after all of that.
I went to law school at 28.
Wow.
So, yeah. Was it 20? Yeah, I was 28 when I went.
So how did that go down?
Well, I had done the film thing. That didn't work out.
So yeah, why didn't that not work out? Like what? So I want you to translate for everybody that's watching the show. How did you take that? How did that go from film school? Because your storytelling, when you're in front of the jury now, a lot of storytelling, facts and law mixed in between. How do you use what you learned in film, and how do you apply it now?
So when you're directing a film or producing a film, you're doing the same thing that you do when you put together a trial, right? You're deciding the witnesses, who's going to tell the story, who's the main character, what's my setup.
Are you always the protagonist in your stories for trial?
No, God, no. No.
Who's the villain? You get to pick your villain, actually.
For trial?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I mean, the villain appears. It's the person who hurt your client. And, of course, the villains are also, their supporting characters are the defense experts.
Who's the Iago of your trials?
The Iago of my trials?
It
Oh,
could
God.
be.
Okay, skip this part. The who?
Iago, that's Iago. That is the one of the Shakespearean plays. Fuck, I can't remember who it is. But it's like the one that whispers all the time, so it's like this subtitle bad guy with the real bad guy. But it could be, for me, like finding your villain.
So
It's weird you do this because I always thought like trial was a production in my mind.
It is.
Yeah.
It totally is. And the nuts and bolts of producing, right? You're producing a movie, you've got to do the call sheet. Who's coming every day? That's like getting out your subpoenas.
I like this.
What's the order going to be? How are you going to shoot the shots? What's the most effective way to, okay, we're going to have to shoot this scene before this scene, but we have to do this scene first.
Because you're storytelling it from start to finish.
Right.
Do you do blocking when you're in trial?
I don't do blocking. Well, sometimes that's not true. The wrongful death trial that I did in Ventura in 2019, we actually did a lot of blocking because we had.
But were you strategic and thought process about it? Like, was this part of your?
Yes.
This is wow.
Yeah. So because we had, what do they call it? The horse, the sawhorses that you have the lights on.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Like when you block off. What are they?
Sawhorses, go with it.
Sawhorses, whatever, with the lights. The sawhorses that have the lights. So you have something on the side of the road, you have flashing lights that you have to block it off with.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Right.
Okay, I see it.
And so, in our case,
It might be sawhorses.
I think it's a sawhorse.
You might be right. Don't know.
It's
fine.
sawhorse. So in our case, they didn't use the right ones. So we brought the right one in, and we wanted the jury to see the whole time how big it was, how big the flashing lights were. So we
Judge let you do that?
strategically.
Judge let you just put them there? Interesting.
So that was all, how do we display this constantly so the jury can see, what they should have done. So yeah, definitely.
So I want to hear how you choreograph like the rest of the trial. I mean, you're talking about, I think about this all the time because I always want my client to be the hero, even if it's like one they're not thinking of, their root for at the end of the day. When you're talking to a jury. And you want to pick your villain on the other side. What do you do, Michelle, if you love the defendant? She's a super nice person. She's a nurse. You love them.
I did have a case against a nurse. And actually, you helped me on that case.
Yeah.
I was texting you during that case.
But what do you have to do during this? Where do you find your villain?
I do it through dishonesty. I think actually in the case with the nurse, she had lied about how the crash happened. And she had put one thing in her discovery responses and another thing in the other discovery responses. So I used that to impeach her when she was on the stand. You know, just nothing really mean, just like, you know, you're claiming that, you know, you weren't at fault, but, you know, here you said that you were. So can we just be honest about what happened?
So do you pick, this is so interesting because I never thought of the call sheet method. Fuck, this is, but when you're doing a trial, you have no control over who's available when or when it's going to go down.
Yeah, but you also, I mean, I learned this from you, so now I counter designate all my expert depots and
be ready to play for it in dead time.
yeah.
Do you ever think about making your journey or your client's journey into a movie? Come on, you had to have thought about this.
So my very first trial that I ever did, my client joined the army afterwards. He's Syrian American.
After. Wow.
Well, no, actually, he was in the army at the time that we tried the case. I know because we brought him in his uniform and the defense didn't want to see
They don't
that.
want to do that.
So, but his story, his journey.
But they have to. Like if somebody's in military, it says you have to, any form of proceeding, you have to dress this certain way.
Absolutely.
It says it.
And after all that he went through, like in the army, you know, being a Syrian Muslim, it was like, you know, he definitely wanted to wear the uniform. But that was a crazy story that had to do with like the people that customize cars and all that crazy
Because you do
stuff.
a lot, I mean, you do employment cases a lot of the time.
Yeah,
which
that was an employment case.
Yeah, so I don't understand the employment case world, and you're fighting for employees a lot of the time.
Definitely. The villain in those cases is often the system.
The system, yeah.
It's the system.
So that's why if you're picking your villain on the other side, your antagonist might be the defense lawyer, might be the system, might be the corporation, might be the defendant. Sometimes for me, it could be an expert for the other side that's can tell the story, can fucking talk about the bullshit you want to hear. So
Yeah, I like the system. And
you're gonna drink fast during the show, by the way, because we got 45 minutes. We're gonna do 5 fours. We do not have a paramedic or EMT outside.
That's fine. I'll finish this and then we can go on to the next one. Yeah, so system works. So the first time that I had a Kaiser case, their head of human resources for Southern California had almost she didn't even have a bachelor's degree. And she was in charge of making sure that, you know, all of the discrimination complaints were investigated in Southern California. So she became my villain.
Wow.
Because, you know, how do you have this huge corporation with such, you know, she wasn't well trained.
So how did she get there, though?
I don't know. That I never found out.
Yeah. Usually you got to know somebody to get there, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the next case I had, she was gone. So.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So what was the most passionate, like, wow, that was,
This is so good.
yeah, that burned a little bit.
Oh.
I think I have something growing in my stomach right now. Might be a little bit of fire belly. We'll see. Makes me strong. But I have to ask you this question. Why are you so passionate about your clients?
I've always wanted to help people. That's
Why?
I became a lawyer.
Why?
I don't know.
Because, you know, we represent people, real people, not corporations or the bullshit or insurance companies. Everybody has the same story. So how did you become so passionate that I got to represent people and not care about the fucking money?
I think it's how I was raised. You know, I went to 11 years of Catholic school. I'm not a practicing Catholic.
You know, I'm the same. A lot of CCD on Sundays.
Cheers to that. But I think it was, you know, that tradition of service that I learned.
Yeah.
You know, that was the one thing I really took from my Catholic upbringing. So I think that's where it came from. And my mom was very serious about it.
Catholic guilt and you know, the one thing my dad, I'll never forget. He'd be like, "What the fuck is confession?" He's like, you just tell some priest what shit you did and it's gone. I'm like, "Yeah, Dad, that's how it works." So we used to, my twin brother and I, the first, you know, you build up to your first confession. Oh, you're like, probably in grade school when you do your first confession.
Yeah, grade school.
So this is how fucked up we were. Let's think of the most crazy shit we can do for our first confession. And we'll do it face to face, because you have the option. You're either behind the, you have the thing where you sit behind the priest, they don't look at you and you're in the screen, or you could do it face to face.
I didn't have the
Oh,
face-to-face
dude, we had the
option.
face to face option. Maybe my priests were a little bit more, wanted to look you in the eyes. I don't know,
Okay.
but we opted for face to face. And my brother Brad, oh my God, this is so bad. First, I'm going to talk to you about this because I need a little bit more of a. This is such a fucking bad story and it's hilarious, but this is in Old Kirk. This is 130 proof.
Okay.
Yeah. So why I wanted you to try this after we tried that is I want you to feel the lack of burn in this.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
So very, very strong whiskey. This is the AP Hotaling company, but it is a very, very strong one. Look at the color difference.
I hate to do this to you, but you can't pour for yourself first.
I can't pour myself first?
Mm-hmm.
What fucking planet does that exist? I don't know how that operates.
So I'm not superstitious about anything except for my alcohol. So
Watch.
when we cheers,
Yeah.
we have
Look
to
in your eyes.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yep.
And
I
I
know.
always pour for the other person first because I heard that was bad luck. I don't know where I learned it.
Oh my God.
I don't know where I learned it, but I've never gotten rid of it.
I'm one of the most superstitious people ever. That's fucking bullshit.
Well, so is looking in the eye.
Okay, so cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, you tapped it too? God damn, you're really bad.
It's just with
I
alcohol.
wear the same socks every day at trial. I thought that was bad. Now you don't feel the burn after this one.
Wow.
It's 130 proof.
I feel like I'm breathing fire.
Yeah. It might be a dragoon maybe.
No, this is wow.
This was
This is great.
my brother's story. This is so bad.
Yeah, so what did he confess to?
Father, forgive me for I have sinned. I called my mother a... I can't even say it without laughing because he went so outrageous and he did it with a straight face and he won. We had a bet with our friends who could say the most outrageous shit. Like he said he called his mother a C-bomb. Like, oh very bad. Yes.
Did he say the words
Oh,
to
he
the
said
priest?
the word.
Okay.
Because that was the thing. You had to be out there with it. Man, and little did I know they were probably profiling us at the same time. For who was the mark? Who knew? No, but that was the first and last confession for my brother Brad, I think.
So what was his penance?
3 Hail Marys. I mean, that's what they always give.
3 Hail Marys.
That's
Not even some Our Fathers.
That's it. We were on a retreat, so we had to do a first confession. We were on a retreat, so we were all like, "This is what we said," and we would all talk about it. This was your penance. It was fucking stupid, whatever. But that's why I'm now a Christian and not a Catholic, and there is a difference.
Indeed, there is.
There is a big difference.
Yes.
Man, this is fire.
This is great.
It's
I'm
great, but it is
starting to feel it.
So we're filming in the morning. This will keep you up until tomorrow.
And don't tell anybody that we're drinking this much in the morning.
We're going to tell the world very shortly.
Okay.
And, okay, so talk about the new lawyer lifestyle, because before you got here, and this is still the morning, you had a deposition,
Yeah.
you had a board meeting
Yep.
that you finished here.
I did.
How are you able to do all this shit? And you have 2 little girls.
I do. So
Single mom, 2 little girls.
yes, everything's on the cloud.
Yeah.
My iPad has cellular. It goes with me everywhere.
Yeah.
iPad, earpods, and I'm good to go.
Really?
I take
the way it
depots on
should
the
be.
beach. I take depots in cars. I take
Yeah.
them. I've even taken a depot while I was driving.
See, we've talked about this, and what would be your dream role as a lawyer, and where would you be?
Okay, yes, we did talk about
Yes.
this. So,
We have similar paths in the story, so I want to hear it.
I mean, I love being a trial attorney, and that's what I wanted to do. You've helped me with that, and I was doing that before COVID, but then COVID hit. I had to change focus, and I started running an office.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how much I liked it. Here I am using all the experience that I've had. Every time, in trial that a bad discovery response has been shoved down my throat.
Oh my God. People don't realize the first fucking thing you say is the worst thing in trial, you idiots.
Yeah. Using that, my experience with motions, etc. So really moving pieces around the chessboard and
Yes.
finding ways to move cases forward. It's been great. So I came into this office, they had a bunch of cases already. they were a little bit stagnant, and I started, just putting together, and honestly, I could steal a lot of stuff from you. So templates, templates that I've used, and just to make it automatic. So, the first set of discovery that goes out in an auto case or a sidewalk case, all my paralegals have to do is check the box. And then I use Esquire Tech to respond to the discovery. Changed my life.
We have a game at our firm. How quickly can you respond to discovery? Because now it's an algorithm, so these guys, fuck. And it's fun for us, so how quickly can you respond to discovery? We use what used to take a week. You had to get the answer, do X, Y, Z, you have to fucking think about it, create the shells. You can do it. The record now is 8 hours to respond to discovery because, use the algorithm, do it, have it ready to go, and the defense is like, what the fuck just happened? Like, how did this go down? But that's, so now I think you realize imparting the knowledge by trying a lot of cases early in life, right? Yeah. Even though this was your second career. But you did it early. We're both in our early 40s. Shh. No, I'm 41. I was at your 40th birthday last year.
Last year.
I know. So we're the same. But we both started early trying cases. Tell me, how is it knowing the value? We talk about what's that secret sauce in life. The value of being a lawyer, trial lawyer, is knowing the secret sauce from trial backwards.
It's so important.
Yes.
Especially when you're the evidence that you need to get. And you can't, I've taken a lot of cases at expert designation, and it's you have to start in the beginning. Yes. And you have to know, what I always think is, what is that secret thing in my pocket that I'm going to pull out that the defense and the adjuster don't think is important? But when I get in front of a jury, they're going to be like, oh shit, she's got us.
When you're talking about that secret thing, so we've talked about it on other episodes, and I was with Downtown Eric Brown, huge fan. We talked about the hook. He was a big 90s rap guy, Yo MTV raps, the hook. Finding a thing that makes it important to everybody, that the other side doesn't see coming. Where do you find that hook?
Typically for me, the hook is an emotional hook.
Yeah.
Because, defense attorneys will not ask the right questions. And I'll tell them on the deposition, I'll say, look, I think this case is 100 and you think it's a 5. And the reason that we have this difference is because you're not paying attention to what my client has
Because they
gone
are
through.
robots.
Right.
I can only ask on the outline.
Right. They're like, oh, how did you experience emotional distress? I'm like, first of all, you're not answering that question. Second of all, and I'll tell them.
Oh my God, this is hot. The second one was worse than the first. You feel 136 proof where the fuck this is.
Oh,
God damn.
I'm still breathing fire.
Yeah. We might have to move on to the next. Please pour your next.
Into what?
Fuck,
you
into
have
your
to
mouth.
finish this.
God damn. This one's fire.
It is fire. Are there more glasses?
No, we're gonna.
We have to
this.
finish it.
Oh my
Okay.
Lord. This is how it gets more interesting on the way down the line. We'll find more about Michelle Iarusso as we go.
I have a bartending story. So the very first bar that I used to work at was in the East Village in Los Angeles, in New York. Oh, it's hitting me. And there was a very quiet young man who used to sit in the corner of the bar. And he was a musician. He was a piano player.
Is this a fucking Billy Joel story?
No, it's not a Billy Joel story.
I hope
I'm not that old. I was not Billy Joel's bartender. And thank God, because he got a lot of DUIs.
I can't feel my tongue right now after this one, by the way.
It's so good.
Oh my God.
So I was texting on Instagram with a friend of mine about, way back in the day, we still keep in touch. And she's like, talking about the guy who was in the corner who had the piano thing that I didn't really talk to, and she talked to. And he's like, oh, he used to invite me to his shows, but he just played a piano. And I was like, how interesting could that be? You know who that was?
Elton John.
John Legend.
No, it was not.
It was. He was a regular at my bar every Saturday night.
Out of here.
Yeah. And he was just some quiet dude. And, I barely talked to him. And, he would invite her out to see his shows and just didn't go.
I know what's crazy. So, everyone says he's a quiet dude. So, I remember this is so weird that I remember this. And I don't know why I was watching Oprah, but I was watching Oprah a few years ago.
There's no shame in that.
But he was on, she was like, I want you to make the most talented artist you've ever heard, we'll ever see. And it was John Legend. I remember thinking, I've never heard this fucking guy. And then he was playing, I was like, this guy's fucking awesome, right? And, man.
Yeah.
Your quiet bar. What was the name of your bar?
Back then it was called Tribe.
Tribe. Where was it located?
8th Street and 1st Avenue.
My God.
Yep.
So did you walk to this bar, drive to this bar? How did you
Oh my
get to the
God,
bar?
I didn't have a car in New York. I bought my first car when I was 30.
So, you know what? So similar story. So I never, like, we had cars going to Pittsburgh. I went to D.C. Everything was like, you can take the metro to go everywhere. I didn't need a fucking car. I went to law school in Malibu in Pepperdine. I was like, I don't need a fucking car. Like, whatever. Yeah, in L.A. you need a fucking car.
Yeah.
It was really bad. Let's go to this one.
All right, so here we have a traditional bourbon. This is from Bar and Garden, which is a shop in Culver City. So they picked out a cask that they like specifically. So this is their, kind of traditional bourbon.
But interesting, like Tiffany Blue Label. We'll see.
Oh, I like that Tiffany Blue. Yeah, when I came to UCLA for law school, I was studying late one Sunday night, and then I went to go home. I was waiting for my bus. It was like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and I just moved here from New York. And finally, I asked one of the bus drivers.
Thank you for pouring my first.
You're welcome. See,
God damn, I'm so superstitious.
I asked the bus driver, I was like, oh, when does my bus come? He's like, the bus stopped running. And I was like, what are you talking about? Because I moved here from New York. It never stops. And he's like, get on, I'll take you as far as I can take you. It's like, what is wrong with this town?
That's your Culver City story. Oh, it's...
What do you think?
I smell nodes of, I don't know what the fuck. So. I'm not one of those guys that can smell it. Like people are like, oh my God, you're a nose, you can smell everything in this whiskey. I know it after 2 sips if I like it or not. That's it, that's all I know.
So I always thought it was fun when I was like waiting on tables and selling wine. It's kind of like a language, and you learn like what language people are talking. So
See,
when
this is the jury story, man. I'm telling you, you figure out what they are thinking and speaking.
Yeah. So when they say, oh, I want a sweet red wine. Well, they don't really want a sweet, they want fruity. If they're, you just
I don't drink wine, so fine. I don't drink any wine.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
The reason is I grew up drinking it out of a box. And then, so I have like an acid reflux thing. So I take medication every day for GERD, right? So actually my story was because when I was taking the bar, like, whatever, I get a lot of big stomach pains, like it's just fucking I never had stress before. I'm starting for the bar, it is what it is. And I was really healthy during that point. So I was like drinking these protein shakes with a lot of fruit in it, a lot of stuff. And it kept getting worse. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, okay, it must be the stress. I go up to take the bar, and we're out in fucking Ontario, and the pain was so bad I was like doubled over. I was like, I gotta go to the fucking ER.
During the bar?
During the bar.
Oh,
this
shit.
was the night before the first the first test. It's 3 days in California. So I go to the ER, and they're like taking like scans of my body, and they're like, this is your appendix, it needs to come out. I'm like, it doesn't need to come out. Like, if I don't, like, it's every 6 months, I have to earn, like, I will come back. And they were like, you can't leave. So they shot me with morphine. I'm like, I feel fine. I left. So I took the bar, they gave me like prescription. So I'm taking on like painkillers. So I just put my painkillers on the desk. I took it, left, crushed the bar, mind you, it was great. Went to see a specialist in LA, and he was like, you have a hiatal hernia from acidity. From all that healthy shit you were drinking, your body does not agree with it. It apparently grows in my Irish side of my family.
The healthy shit?
The acidity to the healthy shit. All the fruit that I was putting in my drinks was causing this to build. Yes. So I have to be very careful what I drink. So red wine, no.
Wow.
White wine, no.
All right.
Rye whiskeys, yes.
Cheers to that. Wow, and I thought I had a good bar story. So I had two. I had my
this
two.
This is good.
This is really
This
good.
is really good.
It's vanilla-y. It's very soft and smooth.
And I thought, what about breakfast at Tiffany's? And I said, Leopold Bros. This is a Culver City shit?
Yeah, Bar and Garden.
Man, this is good. This is 50%, Michelle. What'd I tell you about fucking 50% before noon?
Oh, it's better than 130.
Maybe it's better than 130.
What is
Oh
it?
God, I feel every second of it.
This is fantastic.
Those are your words, but it's fine. Oh my Lord. So then how did you get from New York to LA?
All right, so I was in New York. I wanted to get married. Met my my first husband. Hopefully there's a second.
I mean, you have two beautiful girls.
I do. Yeah. So we wanted to get married and have kids. And we were both waiting tables. We were waiting tables at Tao.
What?
Yeah, we worked at Tao.
No.
Which was the most fun ever. I had the people that we met. We used to do like MTV parties. I would be like dancing on tables with Zoe Saldana. Like it would just
She has a long neck, by the way.
She
How
does.
do you do that?
And she fell off the table.
Did she break her neck?
No, but we had so much fun. It was the biggest party experience. Was the time of our life. I still am friends with my Tao friends.
Really?
Still to this
So
day.
what would be your favorite avatar? She was an avatar, right?
She was an avatar. I don't remember, but hers. Definitely hers. That was a party I would never forget. It was like.
Did you live in Vegas?
No, it wasn't Tao in Vegas. It was Tao in New York. The first Tao.
There's a Tao in New York.
That's the first Tao, not the Tao in Vegas. I mean, I remember so Jason's, what's his name? Jason Strahan.
Statham?
No.
The fighter dude?
No, the guy who was in Good Morning America.
Oh,
the ex-footballer.
No,
Jason,
Michael Strahan.
Michael Strahan.
God, don't
Sorry.
even close.
Oh, whatever. So bad.
I heard he fixed his gap.
Did he?
I heard he did. I didn't see the final end, but I love him.
I used to have one of those. So he had a charity event every year, and he would have some big name come. I didn't get to work the Diana Ross year, but I worked the Bon Jovi year.
Oh.
I saw
I
Bon
would take
Jovi.
Bon Jovi over Diana
I saw
Ross.
them perform every single hit. I brought
Really?
Yes, and I got to wait on them up in the private room. It was I couldn't have experiences like that. I mean, it was like
so we're
unbelievable.
like with La de Gras, we have like the opportunity to do those little headliner private event
Did
shit.
you get my? Did you get?
Yeah. Are
so
you
doing the thing?
Yes,
I just want one song.
That thing we talked about.
Okay.
So maybe you can talk about that thing with that guy and the other person. The other person's harder to get. So it's a little
I know,
different.
but
It has like a shift something on the keyboard to get to the name. Yes, that's true. But I would love. So actually, Bon Jovi, he owns one of the arena football teams, if I remember correctly. Yeah, he owns an arena football team, which is weird. We were trying, I'm a huge. So we were all teenagers at the same time. My first two albums were that I bought on CD were Weezer Blue Album and Hootie and the fucking Blowfish.
okay.
Which I still love.
Great.
No, it's fantastic.
I'm judging you for that.
Imagine.
No.
So we were trying to get one of those two to play at La de Gras. And maybe it's a pipe dream, but maybe it can happen. Who would your dream be to have play a private show for Michelle Iarusso?
Oh God, that's hard.
It cannot be John Legend.
No, because I mean that fan, no, I didn't grow up with REM.
Really?
Yeah, that was my favorite band
Losing
growing
My
up.
Religion,
Yes.
so it comes full circle, back to fucking Catholicism to Christianity.
Yep.
I'm not a big
that would be my
REM
favorite.
fan. They have like two songs I like, and that's it.
Okay.
Michael Stipe,
We
fine.
can still be Stipe.
That's why I don't. It's fine.
Stipe. It's okay. Yeah.
He needs an R.
I went to a
hard R.
Weezer concert 3 years
What?
ago. It was the best. It was Weezer and the Pixies. I'm a big Pixies fan.
See? No, you're a big Weezer fan now.
But it was the funniest thing because there were so many kids at the concert. Because
Kids?
everybody's our age and they have kids. And everybody brought
Oh,
their
I
kids.
didn't even think about that.
Yes.
Oh, that would be a great. Like, imagine having these generational pools where it's like, bring your kids, throw them in the fucking ball pit in the front instead of a mosh pit. You heard that first.
Okay.
Ball pit.
All right, I like it.
Throw the kids in the ball pit.
Yeah.
They might drown. Who cares?
Yeah. And then
great.
I was seated in front of this guy and I was like, he looks like Weird Al Yankovic. If
No.
Weird Al Yankovic didn't age, it was fucking Weird Al.
No.
It might have been performed too. Which also, of course I grew up with Weird Al. That's so
this
fun.
So I've heard a lot of Weird Al recently. For
Really?
this weird reason
Why?
that, okay. My 4-year-old daughter loves, for some reason, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. So I put on her, like, my station on my car is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle theme song.
Okay.
And for some reason, it finds every Weird Al. Like, I mean, it is and I laugh every time. Like, remember the old one, Losing My Religion. He had one of those. He had
The one that I remember is
the Coolio one was so good.
the way back, the one he did the Twisted Sister.
I don't even remember
What was that
one.
song?
I don't remember.
Oh
but
my God.
I mean, he's doing the new age. I didn't realize he was still like relevant, and he's doing like these new, and I'm like laughing my ass off. My daughter asked me these questions like, what is that? I was like, honey, I can't even explain to you what just fucking happened. But how does he get the licensing rights to like?
I don't know.
Does he have to pay them a royalty to do it? I have no fucking clue.
They must be like, I mean, who doesn't love Weird Al? Who wouldn't be like, yes, I would love Weird Al to do my song?
A lot of people.
You'd have to be a total asshole to be like, nope, I'm not letting Weird Al do my song.
But you know, as well as I do, there's a lot of fucking assholes in every profession.
That is true. We try to avoid them. So tell me about being a girl dad. You're
I love
super,
being a
super girl dad.
I love being a girl dad. Dude, they're so just like appreciative and loving. I can't even imagine having a boy. First of all, it would look weird because you change so many diapers, and it's like, what do we do with this thing? Do we like wipe it down?
PPTP.
What is PPTP?
The PPTP. It's like an actual thing that you put on a boy when you're changing the diaper so it doesn't pee in your face. PPTP.
What? Okay, so when I was a kid, I had this weird thing where apparently they didn't snip me right, and the pee went right in my mouth. So you could ask my mom about this, but true story. So when I was a baby, they had to put me under anesthesia and like re-snip my thing, so the pee didn't go like this into my mouth.
Thank God there were no smartphones back then.
You know what? My dad would have videotaped it. My mom would have been mortified. Actually, I could ask my dad. He might have had like the Polaroids of something back then because he probably thought it was fucking hilarious.
Oh, Polaroids. So many Polaroids I have. I have a lot of Polaroids from that bar that I worked at.
Holy
we used to take
shit.
a lot of Polaroids at the end of the night. That was dangerous.
So the Polaroids of the 90s they call blackmail of the 2010s. I made that up again. We'll hear first. So I'm going to move over to. We're going to do yours last, but I want to like get into this one because I brought this especially for you, and this is a presentation piece. I want to hear how you feel about this. Okay. I'm a huge Whistlepig fan. This is the 18. Another trial lawyer gave this to me. I want to hear your thoughts. So,
I mean, so Whistlepig is very popular.
So it depends on what like
It's a little bit of like a hipster like it's like one of those things where so people go into a bar and they're like, oh, I want to order like something. I'm gonna order the Whistlepig. Do you have Whistlepig? Oh, you don't have Whistlepig? Oh, I can't be at this bar.
This is my exact point. So for me, okay, I don't want to ruin it. So
I don't want to judge you
and I'm
for
going
the
to tell you
Whistlepig,
what
but
my
I'm
thoughts
going
are.
to.
I'm a huge Whistlepig fan, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
But it depends on what you're getting. So I'm going to let you open this one.
Sir?
And this like gel silica thing, does it really kill you?
I don't know.
We should ask.
But I do know as a parent that you can have up to 30 Claritin and they won't kill
30
you.
Claritin?
Yes, that's what my daughter ate.
And I know according to my mom, you can drink a whole bottle of Triminic orange flavor, which is delicious, and you won't die. She had to like put her hand down her throat by my twin brother and like puke it all up so we didn't fucking die after drinking a whole bottle of Triminic. Yeah. He climbed on my shoulders. We got to the top shelf. We were bad kids. Don't have twins if you're listening.
You don't really have a choice in that, right?
Well, nowadays, I think you do. Oh my God. Okay,
I don't have twins, but my two are 16 months apart, and it's fantastic.
Oh, and they're so cute. Little Nala. Okay, so then you do this. I will tell you my thoughts. I'm a huge fan, but I'm on these ends of the variable. To me, Whistlepig 10 is one of my favorite whiskeys. You get it at Costco for $70, $80. They go up all the way to like these high-end whiskeys. All of this in between, not gonna pay for it.
So here's, I want to enjoy the Whistlepig experience. However, there is a hipster like
there is now
2001 I live in Williamsburg.
Where's Williamsburg?
It's in New York, but it was hipster central. If you lived in Williamsburg, it was like ugh. So I have a little bit of hesitance. So I'm gonna try to enjoy it.
So this is why I want you to try this one because I want to hear your thoughts. Okay. You forgot to do this.
I'm just smelling it. I didn't drink it. I'm just smelling it.
2008.
Cheers.
Cheers. I look in your eyes. Don't say I didn't.
I didn't have any breakfast, which I just realized because I don't usually eat breakfast.
So we were talking about this downstairs. I've been trying not to eat breakfast and carry all the way until like 2.
Yeah, you know what? So I actually have lost like 15 pounds during
we were
COVID.
talking about this.
I lost weight.
Yeah.
And I did it by changing the way that I eat.
Yes, we just talked about the same thing.
You know what? So what I do now is because I've been so busy because I'm running this whole thing and I've got all these cases that I just order whatever I want for lunch.
So I have a trial diet. You know, you're in stress, you're in trial, whatever. When you're starting, you're like 8 a.m. Mm-hmm. But you got to get there.
8 a.m.?
Well, I get there at 8. You start at 8:30.
Yeah, but you get up early. Like you're up at like 6, 5.
I'm up at 4. Today I'm at 4. That's my thing. Got to work out, do my thing. But I carry into that, and then you have all this stress and adrenaline, and I eat a very, very light lunch, mostly nothing. And look, see, what is that?
No. See, my employment cases, I do like 11 depots, 17 depots.
Yeah.
My clients all know me. They laugh. They know I have to eat. I'm like, are you hungry? They're like, no, I'm not hungry. Like, I'm gonna eat. And they're like, they know that they have to come with me to lunch because I have to eat. I get so hungry, but it's lunch that's the key. Yeah. And so during COVID, when I was home, I was like, what do I want to eat? Like, do I want to cook? And normally I like cooking, but because of my new position, I was so busy. Yeah. So instead of like being dissatisfied with like whatever I cooked, I just decided I'm going to order whatever the fuck I want for lunch. So one of my favorite things, I love Mediterranean food.
Oh,
lamb chops,
huge
feta
fan.
cheese.
Oh, fuck.
And
yes.
What I love when they give you the pita and the radish and the mint, I'm like, yes, I'm eating all of that. So that's all I eat, and I'm so satisfied, and I'm happy. I actually lost weight during COVID.
But how do you think you lost weight during COVID?
Because I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
Because I just eat what I want.
And a lot of it is the stress of it, and if you can schedule it to where you want to eat and you eat what you want, you should be fine.
Right.
My wife's a big health and fitness person, and she's like, she does the intermittent fasting, but she does because she waits to eat what she wants to eat. So she's like, breakfast for me is like a destination to get to lunch or end of the day lunch. Like, right. I'm just doing it because I got to get through all these meetings and shit, but I want to enjoy once I get there.
And I do intermittent fasting, but not on purpose.
Yeah.
It's just because I'm like, ooh, it doesn't open till 11:30.
And also superstitious. So I'm going to trial, like whatever I eat the first day of trial, if I had a good day, that's when I'm having the fucking worst of trial. So like the first day, like I had a 6-week trial, fucking a products case. God damn it. I had tuna fish, I had fucking carrot sticks, and I had green peppers that day. And it was miserable. I lost a lot of weight during that trial, but it was because of like, goddamn, those 4 or 3 things. What was the last thing? No, there were 4 things. Oh God, apple sticks or apple fucking chops. It was bad. Yeah, lost a lot of weight. Had a great time. Put it all back on after we celebrated the victory.
No, that's the eating thing has really been important during COVID, and I think it's going to be important going forward, just to be like happy and satisfied and have a meal. And because the position I'm in, before.
Could you do the position you're in anywhere?
Yeah, well, that's the idea.
Yeah.
Of course I can.
Where, like, pick your dream. Michelle Iaurusso's dream. Where would it be?
So my best friend lives in Prague. And we've been talking about places to go, and our next place is Iran.
Why? Like, how would you walk me through this?
Because
I'm a big believer you could practice law anywhere.
Absolutely. So before the COVID hit, I had been regularly taking 3 to 4 week vacations.
Yeah.
I'd be like, peace, I'm out. Take all of August, take the Christmas, whatever. And, I would work with opposing counsel to be like, don't ex parte me, I'm not available, whatever. And they were really flexible with that. But now that I'm doing this kind of like more, giving advice and strategy, I'm like, I can do this from anywhere. I want to go places. I want to, my kids and I were traveling people.
Yeah.
They have passports, they have.
So how do you work? Because you're co-parenting, or are you? Like, how do you work that right now?
So
if you wanted to be like, fuck it, I'm going to be in San Sebastian for 7 months.
That could totally work. I mean,
It could totally work.
To be quite honest,
I would love it.
My ex-husband flew in last night, and I gave him my car because he flew in from New York, and I paid for half of his Airbnb because I want to go to Palm Springs for Modernism Week.
Yeah.
I was like, I need you to take the kids. So he's really good with that. He loves the girls. It's super, super flexible.
That's cool.
They know how to get around in New York. They know how to get around in Europe. They know how to they know how to navigate themselves in the world. So I can just drop them off anywhere.
But so I've had this struggle with my friends that homeschool their kids, and now they're like, COVID hit. Now you understand what we're dealing with. So I have a lot of friends that homeschool their kids.
The homeschooling thing has been interesting. I'm lucky that I live I live adjacent to my mother. So she helps with a lot of that. But the homeschooling's been really hard, and it's been an adjustment of expectations. But honestly, my kids are so used to doing things remotely that it's been okay. Man. You know, their girlfriend who's in New York, who's the best friend of my ex-husband's, who's the daughter of my oh my God. Wow.
That's where it gets you.
All right, let me strike that. Let me try it again. So the daughter of my ex-husband's best friend.
Okay.
My kids will spend hours with her online. Like, I get out of the shower and I'm like, turn the cameras away. Are you on the phone with Kaya? Because they'll just sit there. They will be watching a TV show and the iPad will be sitting next to them. And I'm like, what are you doing? It's like, oh, Kaya's watching it with me. And I'm like,
dude, that's crazy.
So they've really adjusted like really well to that. So yeah, I mean,
but
I think we could.
Do you think you can maintain your lawyer lifestyle and your practice by being in Europe for Prague or Iran 9 months of the year, coming back, trying a case for 3 months?
I would say it probably wouldn't last. It probably wouldn't work for 9 months, but it probably would work for half the year.
Half a year.
Half a year.
Yeah, I think
easily
it could.
half a year.
I think it could.
Easily half a year.
I have this wild idea that us trial lawyers should form a pact with the other side and be like, we're unavailable in September and May, the whole month.
Yeah.
You travel.
No, I literally tell my opposing counsel I'm not available in August, and I've been doing that for 4 years. I'm like, do not schedule any trials, do not schedule anything. I am not available in August. And it goes through the end of the CALA convention. So it's actually till like September.
After Labor Day.
Yeah, after Labor Day.
Oh, that's good. Give me this last one. We got to pour this last one.
So, but that means I have to drink this.
You must. Holy shit.
So this is a Mesquite smoked.
Oh, Mesquite?
Bourbon.
Oh, god damn. This is going to be rough.
It's going to be rough. This is going to be like, we're done, end of the day.
Fucking A. What is this? This is a 12-hour pour?
12-hour pour?
Yes.
What are we, on Gilligan's Island?
Yes. No, that's a 3-hour tour. This is I've been drinking all day, a 12-hour half-day pour. God damn.
Sorry.
You don't know, like, I shoot multiple of these a day. I'm fucked because of this.
Yeah, I'm sorry. sorry, not sorry.
Oh my god. Let me smell this shit. Oh, this smells so mesquite. Oh my
really
god,
does.
Michelle.
It's like a fucking barbecue.
Give me some white bread and barbecue sauce. This is gonna be bad.
Whoa. Wow.
This cannot finish. Holy shit.
I need a steak with this.
Yes. Oh my god, this pairs well with an Arby's 5 for 5. Where did you get this?
I need like barbecue sauce.
Oh my god, this is the most mesquite smoked
so
shit
I
I've
went
ever
I
tasted.
went to these people and I said, you know, this is what I wanted. I came for
Actually, this was my favorite one.
Was it really?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I was gonna
That was the most flavorful,
I got
but
two
that
of
was
these.
the
I
best.
was gonna leave you one of these, but
No, I'll
I
drink
might
it.
think
but-
about leaving you.
Oh my god, this is so ridiculous.
Yeah, maybe some chips. I don't know.
This tastes like eating barbecue chips.
Exactly.
Oh my
I need
god.
food with this.
This whiskey is actually outrageous.
Wow.
So you know, like, oh my god, I'm thinking about like the 18-year-old make-out sesh. I cannot drink this.
Yeah,
and make out the chick.
don't do
Yeah.
that.
This would
I
be
mean,
like,
and 18-year-olds don't drink good whiskey, so.
they don't. It's plastic bottles.
Yeah.
Oh my god. We drank Mad Dog 2020 when I was 18.
So
that was as close as we got.
When did you have your first whiskey? How old were you?
No, we drank it when I was 12, 11.
Really?
Yeah, we drank a lot of Jack Daniels. My Irish side of the family. My grandmother's one of 12. They moved here from the potato famine, and they, for some reason, latched on to Jack Daniels. And every Irish relative that died at Christmas that year, we would celebrate. And a lot of fucking relatives die. And we do a shot for them. And then we ended up going through like 6 handles of Jack Daniels every Christmas. And then my brothers and I, my dad would play who's the least drunk to drive home, which is a very dangerous game by the time we got to turn 16. It was very bad. And that's when we started drinking whiskey from the time I was 11 or 12 all the way up until today.
So I didn't drink until I was in college.
Really?
Yeah, I was an athlete. I was a cross-country runner, track runner. I still remember getting drunk for the first time in the NYU dorms on a 40 of Corona.
A 40 of Corona?
Yeah. I was 18 and I got drunk at 40 of Corona. But so my family is, I also have Irish family.
Yeah.
My great uncle Larry, who was
Where's
a Navy
Iarusso
captain.
from, by the way?
That's my ex-husband. He's Italian. And I kept the name because it was
what
distinctive.
What is your last name?
Harris.
Really?
Yeah. So my grandfather was English, but we are a French Canadian Mexican family. So my grandmother was the
French Canadian Mexican.
Yeah.
You're one. That's one of one.
My grandmother was the last generation to speak Spanish. Like my mom speaks some, but my grandmother and her sisters kept it so they could talk, and the kids wouldn't understand what they said. So my grandmother's mother married a French Canadian. But we're Mexican Catholic. But so my grandmother's younger sister married an Irishman.
Oh my God.
And so I have a huge swath of my family, my favorite cousins. So the Irishman and my grandmother's, I say 2 minutes, my grandmother's little sister had 6 kids. And they're my favorite kids. And we get together and we have like the last family reunion we had. So they're all like, they're 20 years older than me. And we go and we're like at this place in Monterey that we all rented, and we're like, oh, we're gonna have this for fun, and everybody brings, like, we have bottles, just bottles, and it's the type of thing where like the older kids were like, okay, 16, 17-year-olds, like, you get the kids to sleep because the parents are hanging out. We are all, yes.
Yeah, it's like a little whiskey nipple and you go to sleep. So, but college was your first introduction.
I was a super athlete, yeah, and then I made up for it as a bartender in New York for 10 years. Yeah. So
the kids that first experimented with alcohol for me when I was in college were the same ones that got taken out by ambulance.
And that never got taken out by ambulance.
We were more the European kids, man. My dad was always, my mom and dad. You can drink at the house, but put your keys in the jar. You can drive. You guys are going to stay here and figure it out.
And I'm totally going to be that mom. And not only because, we're going to be traveling.
Yeah.
My kids are going to be in Europe, and it's just going to be happening, and it's more safe.
Oh, Lord. So, Michelle, thank you for coming on Bourbon Approved.
Thank you.
First of all, we'll cheers this one. This is the Mesquite. God damn. Oh, my God. This is a rough one. So now I have to ask you, if you had to pick the one, pick out of the two that you like the most out of these two for me, and I'll pick the one that I like out of yours.
Wait, I have to pick, but what if I like mine best?
Out of my two.
Old Kirk.
Wow, you like the high proof. So your bourbon approved is fucking high.
You know what? The Whistle Pig, honestly, it's like a white wine to me. It's very delicate. It's very ladylike. I don't want my whiskey to be ladylike. Sorry.
It's very, very.
I'm totally judging you.
It has no bite to it. No, but some of the ones have a bite. I'm telling you, I agree. So this is my favorite, the ones you brought. This is my favorite.
All right.
This is my least favorite. I might die off of that one. But this is why I want to bring you this, because for me, I like Whistle Pig a lot. The 18, which everybody is like, oh, I'll gift this to you. It's fine.
It's so delicate.
It's fine.
If I'm drinking whiskey, I want to feel it.
Yes. Oh my God. That's why I love you, Michelle Iarusso. So thank you for coming on. Your bourbon approved has been the highest fucking proof thus far. So thank you for what was the street what was the cross street where you bartended, the first one?
8th Street and First Avenue.
8th Street. Oh my Christ. Well, thanks for coming on, Michelle.
Thanks, Bob.
Fuck. That's bad. I'm so drunk.